Hi, there has been quite a rally in crypto land. Bitcoin went up, Ethereum went up, a lot of the altcoins went up as well. And in this video, we're going to analyze, is the momentum shifting now? Are we entering another rally? And in order to answer this question, we will look at various charts. We will look at back-tested technical indicators, such as, for example, the 23 and 39-day moving average. They worked the best historically for Ethereum. We will also look at Bitcoin. We will look at relative valuation of Bitcoin to Ethereum. And last but not least, we will have a look at the tether dominance. So how much money is currently locked up in stablecoins? But let's start this video with Bitcoin, right? The mother of all cryptocurrencies, with the 23-day moving average. The 23-day moving average is what historically worked best for Bitcoin, and we are now above that moving average, indicating that Bitcoin might potentially again rise further from here. Now, this strategy is by no means perfect, right? We do have our fake outs, we do have our failed signals over here. But when you backtest a strategy, when you look at how did this moving average perform compared to other moving averages, with the approach of selling whenever the price is below and buying whenever the price is above the moving average, if you look at what kind of duration for such a strategy works best for Bitcoin, you find out that historically speaking, at least, the 23 worked the best. So if you want to get details on that backtest, simply search for other videos on this channel. I've explained this several times. And so with this recent rally, it looks quite bullish for Bitcoin. What I also like about Bitcoin is the long-term trend, right? When we look at the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve, to be found at lookintobitcoin.com, we can zoom in over here. This is a chart from the very beginning of Bitcoin, where it was just a few cents on a logarithmic scale. So each jump over here is a 10x. When we zoom in over here, we can see we are below the long-term log regression, right? Which is around 65K. So we are comparatively cheap, which doesn't mean we can't go lower, right? Historically, we have been lower. We have been lower by quite a bit. The lower band here was at 7,500 and we went all the way down to 5K. Now the lower band is at 27K. So potentially, if things go really, really bad, we could go to 19K. But if your time horizon is long enough and this log regression here, it increases around 71% per annum right now. It used to increase more, right? This is a curve that takes diminishing returns into account. It currently increases by 72%. So if you have a long time horizon, you can simply continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and just wait for 2, 3, or maybe 4 years. And the likelihood of being in the profits, I think, is comparatively high. If, of course, you believe that this model here will continue to reflect the price movements the way they have in the past. And so long-term Bitcoin looks nice, short-term Bitcoin looks nice. Ethereum, though, is slightly different. Here we've got two moving averages that somewhat worked equally well. So here we've got the 23 and the 39. And so we want to look at those moving averages pretty much with the same kind of weight. And so far, we have not yet crossed the 39-day moving average. We might, though, in case we simply trade sideways for a while. If we don't correct sharply from this rally, if we simply stay on this level, then Ethereum as well might look somewhat positive. And Ethereum does have quite a bit of correlation to the altcoins, right? The correlation, at least between Ethereum and the altcoins, is higher than the correlation between Bitcoin and the altcoins. There is an index, though, that's even more correlated to alts than Ethereum is. So if you want to get a proxy where the altcoins in general go, Ethereum is good, but there's something that's even better. But that kind of index is reserved for the premium members, to be found here at thebitcoinstrategy.com. Link is in the video description. But that's only one shameless plug. The other shameless plug is obviously for the like button. If so far you enjoyed this content, feel free to give this a like. It will help the channel grow. But let's now look at the relative performance of Bitcoin to Ethereum. And here's my general thought on this. This is Bitcoin versus Ethereum historically, right? We can zoom out here. Let's look at the weekly ticks. There was a time when Bitcoin was way more expensive versus Ethereum than it is now, right? And one has to wonder, why is Bitcoin now relatively so much cheaper? Is it really because Ethereum has such a great technology? Is it because people love using Ethereum and Bitcoin has so much competition? Or is it rather because a lot of people simply like to take on more risk? They think Bitcoin in US dollar terms is so expensive, you can't really gain much more, and so you want to get more crypto exposure, something that moves more in percentage terms than Bitcoin does. Because if the second is the case, if momentum turns around, if we do see a crypto winter, then maybe Bitcoin can outperform Ethereum, right? Maybe then a flight to safety will happen. And maybe at that point in time, it's not necessarily justified anymore that Bitcoin's dominance is 42%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is 19%. The question is long-term, right? Fundamentally speaking, does it make sense that Ethereum is almost half the size in terms of market cap compared to Bitcoin? And I'd argue that's not necessarily justified because there's a lot of competition around Ethereum and the gas fees are really high. People don't really like to use Ethereum, but sometimes they are forced to, for example, when they want to trade in NFTs, right? The NFT market on other blockchains is not well established. The largest, the best, the most well-known NFTs, the CryptoPunks, the Bored Apes, their native blockchain is Ethereum. But besides NFTs, if you simply want to be, say, in DeFi, then we do have Avalanche, we do have the Binance Smart Chain, we do have Phantom, and they might slowly at least eat into the current market dominance of Ethereum. And so that's why I think it's not unreasonable to assume that Bitcoin over the long term is going to outperform Ethereum. At least that's my personal investment thesis. Now, there isn't just Bitcoin dominance and there isn't just Ethereum dominance, right? When we look at this recent rally over here, we can see that Bitcoin dominance increased by quite a bit, right? From 41 percentage points all the way to 42.5. Ethereum's dominance didn't increase that much. It increased a little bit. The others' dominance, it decreased. So the others' dominance is a measure of how certain altcoins are doing. So what we can say is that this rally, this recent rally here, was a Bitcoin-driven rally. Bitcoin appreciated most, which is comparatively uncommon, right? One would expect that when crypto is going up, the altcoins, they should have some kind of inherent leverage. They should go up more. Why is it possible that the safest of the cryptocurrencies, it's the most volatile suddenly? It suddenly gains most when times are bullish. That's, I think, an interesting question to really think about. I don't have the answer here, but I think it's unlikely that it's simply the same people that sold over here that caused this rally. Maybe this is new money entering the space. Maybe there's institutional people that feel most comfortable with Bitcoin rather than with Dogecoin or Shiba Inu that are driving this current rally over here. And so the way I currently approach this market is, I think it's good to buy Bitcoin, especially when the short-term momentum turns around. It's good to simply dollar cost average in, buy it several times every year. It's also good to be somewhat cautious with Ethereum and with more risky altcoins. They are not yet rallying, and one might potentially have a shorter time horizon for riskier assets, right? You want to be actively trading with risky assets, but with solid long-term investments, you simply buy and hold them over the long term. And so what I personally do is, I buy Bitcoin, but I still wait with the altcoin trading. And if you want to get updates, if you want to get daily updates on how I see the crypto market, similar to what I've done here in this video, then again, simply feel free to check out the premium membership. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe as well. I publish videos regularly. And last but not least, we've also got a free Telegram group. We are now more than 1,500 people. Simply search for Bitcoin Strategy channel within the Telegram app. Be careful though, there are people that impersonate me, that try to scam you out of your money. I will never directly message you. So if after joining of this group, you suddenly get a direct message from somebody that pretends to be me, simply block them, simply report them. It's not me. It's somebody that doesn't have your best interest in mind. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.